Hello everyone, hope you all are doing well. So today we are going to discuss the next question of our agriculture optional answer writing practice series, and the question for today is discuss different in situ moisture conservation practices recommended in dryland areas. So we have to discuss the in situ moisture conservation practices. So this was asked in this year's agriculture optional paper of UPSC Civil Services examination, that is in 2025. So let's see how we can approach the answer. So in introduction part, you can simply mention that in dryland areas, there is a kind of erratic rainfall or the moisture is less. Dryland areas suffer from problems such as erratic rainfall, soil moisture is low, evapotranspiration is high, or you can say evapotranspiration rate is higher. So all these things creates a problem in dryland areas. And if you see, the dryland areas are those areas which have a kind of rainfall around only 75 centimeter annually. Okay, around 75 centimeter annually, or sometimes lower also. So they suffer from this soil moisture or kind of moisture problems. That is why we have to discuss, or we have to state some in situ moisture conservation techniques. So here moisture conservation techniques are also two types, that is in situ and ex situ. So in situ are those techniques or those practices which we do on site, that is on the field of the farmer. Okay, suppose we are using some kind of rainwater harvesting through rooftop harvesting, that is ex situ, because we are not saving the water on the farm only. But if you are doing anything to save the water or conserve the moisture in the soil only, in the field only, then it is in situ, that is on site. On site. So we have to discuss various in situ moisture conservation practices. So let's discuss them. In situ moisture conservation practices. So first one is there are various methods, there are various practices. We will discuss a lot of practices using which you can write your answer. So first there is kind of zero tillage, zero slash minimum tillage. So that is what happens due to tillage, more surface of soil gets exposed, and that leads to kind of increased evaporation rate. So when you do zero tillage and minimum tillage, the moisture inside the soil remains conserved. Okay, we can do contour tillage. This is to kind of reduce runoff losses. Suppose there is already low rainfall, and if the rainfall water is also lost through runoff, so it would be a problem. So kind of contour tillage helps us to reduce runoff losses, and that will conserve that if the runoff losses will be low, the rainwater will kind of go inside the soil and be inside the soil. The soil moisture will increase. We can also do mulching, very important practice, that is adding a kind of additional cover on the soil so that the evaporation losses is reduced. Suppose this is soil, we will add certain kind of cover, either it is organic mulch, anything, so that the soil's evaporative loss is reduced. Okay, that can be done. There are various mechanical measures which can be taken place. For example, contour bunding. These are mechanical measures. Contour bunding. We can do compartmental bunding. You can do tide ridging, or use of tide ridges. We can use a broad bed and furrow method, using broad bed and furrows. This is bed and furrows, so that our soil moisture is conserved. There are various vegetative measures also which you can mention, such as we can do strip cropping. Strip, this number 5, sorry. Strip cropping, using grasses such as vetiver grass or napier grass, etc. Okay, we can use cover crops so that the soil surface is covered and the evaporation loss is reduced. We can use this. There are also kind of other methods such as we can use drought tolerant or short duration varieties. Drought tolerant varieties, although it is not a conservation practices, you can not add it. We can do agroforestry and LA cropping with good crops. We can do a kind of green manuring. We can use kind of organic manure. What happens, or high amount of organic manure in the soil increases water holding capacity of the soil. Okay, so there are various these types of things which we can use. We can also use other soil conservation practices, okay, so that our kind of soil moisture, in situ moisture, is conserved. We can use farm ponds so that the water is saved in the farm only, okay, or in the field only. So there are various methods. These are some of the in situ conservation methods which we have discussed, which we can use. Some are very important which you must write, for example mulching or zero tillage or using of green manuring or cover crops. All these things needs to be mentioned. So I have written here 10 points. There are a lot other which you can mention. I think if you mention, as it was a 10 marker question, so if you mention 8 to 10 practices or 6 7 practices, it would be enough. Okay. And in conclusion, you can mention that these practices kind of help us to conserve moisture and which can increase agriculture production, increase agricultural productivity, and farming will be more efficient in dryland areas. So that you can mention in conclusion. So I hope you understand all the parts of the question. You will be able to write a good answer on this question now. So that is all for today. If you like it, please press the like button. Please do share and please do subscribe. It takes a lot of hard work to make such videos for you on regular basis. And if you like, if you share, if you subscribe, it motivates us to make more such videos for you regularly. So this is all for today. Have a nice day. Thank you.